Hey everyone, I should be live now, I think. Well, as long as YouTube doesn't lie. Yeah, should be working. Hi, I'm Dave. In case you don't know yet, yeah, this is Deutsch mit Dave, aka Definitely, double name for the channel. Now, basically, yeah, added that Deutsch mit Dave reference in there because still, you know, it may be more descriptive in terms of what the channel is all about at the moment and you know, what the focus of it is. So don't you wonder? Just saying. And I'm also going to be switching to the chat in a moment and put that up there so that I can read your comments. Like this, I think. Yeah, I think that is... Let's see. Maybe like this? I think this should be fitting. Alright. Let's see. Hope you're as curious about this album as I am, because I sure am very curious about this. This is gonna be my first listen to the new Oomph album, Richter und Henker. It's the first album of the band with a new singer, der Schulz. Daniel is his real name. And I've only listened to the first single so far, and I've listened to the title track, Richter und Henker, which is the second single, once. So, yeah. And I really enjoy that. You know, from what I've heard so far, yeah, that's my thing. Also, I'm going to be recording this, and I'm going to start now. And I'm going to say hi once again for the recording in case I have to upload it again because, you know, YouTube may block the stream. Because I want to try to have music in this one this time around. If it doesn't work, I may be able to upload the recording without the music. That's the idea behind it. So, I'm gonna give it a try. Hallo zusammen, and welcome to a new album listening party with me, your host, Dave. Deutsch mit Dave, aka Definitely. Now a double name for the channel. Hope you don't mind. And if you're seeing this snippet without the proper greeting at the beginning of the stream, that means I have to I had to re-upload this because the music got blocked. Because this time around, as opposed to the previous album listening parties that I did, I want to try to have the music in the stream, you know, but I can't guarantee that it may stay online because of, you know, copyright reasons, infringements and everything. You know the drill. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. And this time, I want to give it another go. I want to give it another try. And if it works, you know, won't see any change. And you will hear this greeting, so to speak, for the second time. But yeah, that's that. We're going to be listening to the new Oomph album, Richter und Henker, for the first time. Maybe you've listened to it already, but I haven't. So I only listened to the first single, Wem die Stunde schlägt. It's also going to be the first song on the album. I think like maybe 10 times or so. And I've listened to the title track, the second single, Richter und Henker, once. That's about it. I haven't listened to the third single. And I'm going to be listening to that for the first time with you guys in this album listening reaction. Sure, about to start in a moment. So, let's see. Is everything set up that I wanted to set up? I think so, yeah. Let's see. Let's check me real quick. Okay, that's that. Yeah, I think this should work fine. Alright, that's that. So, I think we're good to go. By the way, in addition to listening to the songs for the first time and giving my first impression and thoughts, a little review, I also want to talk about the song titles, the German song titles, what they translate to in English, and what's interesting about them linguistically speaking, especially for people that want to learn more a little bit about the German language. And since this channel is pretty much about that, German language and culture, I think that may be an interesting combination for you guys. We'll see. I'm German, by the way. I'm not blonde, but I am German. That's also possible. Believe it or not. So, I'd say we should give it a go. And that means that we're going to switch over to this. It's a small step for me, but it's a big step for the stream. Why? Party, applause. This is the stream cam, for the album listening event itself. So let me check one thing real quick. By the way, you can also find links to the album in the video description to various different streaming sites if you want to. I'm not sponsored to make this album listening party, by the way. Disclaimer. Wouldn't mind to be sponsored, but I am not. Just so you know, I'm not going to be overly positive, with the background of being sponsored, for instance, because I'm not. I'm going to give my honest and first impression. And maybe one last thing before we're going to start listening to the album. I'm not new to Oomph, but I'm new to the singer, der Schulz. This is the first album of the band with a new singer, and his real name is Daniel. Hi, maybe in case you're tuning in to this, I don't know, I don't think, but who knows? Anyway, and from what I've heard so far, really dig that. Of course, it's different to Dero, the previous singer, but, different people, different voices. Even though he has a similar tonal quality, I think, which I really like. He can, and he's also very versatile. He can sing raspily, he can sing with vibrato, and everything in between. It has a really dark timbre, which I really enjoy as well. And I'm really looking forward to listening to him in the context of Oomph. Also really curious to find out how he will perform the old Oomph songs, of course. But more about that maybe at some other time. So, without further ado, I'd say let's switch over like this. All right. By the way, in case some of you may be tuning in later during the album listening party, you can always see where I'm at down here. That's where it shows, and this shows which song I am playing, as well as here. So, just so you know. And with that being said, I'd say gonna end this music, and we're gonna switch over to this. And all right, everyone, I think we're ready. Let me pull up my notes real quick because I prepared some stuff, translations of the song titles and everything, and what I want to talk about. So, without further ado, I'd say let's begin. So, all right, let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Just a moment, preparations. Like this, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's begin. This is the new Oomph album, Richter und Henker, which, by the way, translates to Judge and Executioner. Thought-provoking title. to say the least. And interpretable, is that a term? In many different ways, I guess, in context and everything. Quite ambiguous and creative in a way. It gives food for thought, which I always enjoy and appreciate. So, without further ado, let's listen to the first song on the album, Wem die Stunde schlägt. I've heard this song at least 10 times, and spoiler alert, I love it a lot, actually. Nice rhythm, nice melody, chord progression and everything, so... Alright, der Metzgermeister, hi! Before we're gonna start, no, I haven't checked out Zunge bei Till Lindemann yet. Maybe I'm gonna be doing that in the near-ish future, but not today, because now I'm gonna be listening to Oomph. But if you want to join, of course, feel free to join me for this listening session, this album listening party. And we're gonna be listening to Wem die Stunde schlägt bei Oomph in 3, 2, 1, play. By the way, I'm also going to be talking over the songs a little bit here and there, but not too much. And I may have to adjust the audio levels here and there. Love the production already.
Die Totgesagten, die längst Geseilten, sie grüßen dich, doch sterben nicht. Die diffamierten,
Like the little offbeat hi-hat.
der Krug erhält, bis das zerbricht. Diese Gedanken und ihre Schranken, zu kurze Sicht, sie hilft dir nicht. Alles verloren, nicht auserkoren, jüngstes Gericht, verzweifelt nicht.
Periodic is around. Hi! Really fitting voice, I think. So. Just has an awesome groove to it, this tune. Love it. Yes! Wolfsburg, Braunschweig, I think. Yeah.
Die dunklen Stunden, die alten Wunden, weit außer Sicht, im neuen Licht. Die bösen Zungen, die nichts gefunden, beklagen sich, ganz bitter.
Also like the dynamic shift.
Kreuze kriechen, dahin zu siechen,
Quiet verses, loud chorus.
der Gegenwind trägt gestützte Flügel, ein letztes Mal, weit übers Tal.
Really gets sucked into the chorus, love that. Nice handle. Triumph. Thank you very much. Same to you. Very symphonic now. Also, cool trade. And once again, der Schulz. Just a fitting type of voice, I think. It's different, but not too different. So, enjoy that.
Erst wenn nichts mehr geht, wird es vorbei
I love this. And a guitar solo in an Oomph song, you know? Doesn't happen all the time. Nice little fill. Nice ad-libs. I hope you could understand me well, by the way. If the music's too loud, feel free to tell me. Maybe I'm gonna tune it down a little bit. Alright, that was the first song. And I have to deactivate shuffle mode. That was Wem die Stunde schlägt. And I have to adjust that again. Like this, I think. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that was the first track on the album, the comeback single for the band with their new singer, der Schulz, Daniel. I've actually watched a few interviews with him and his other band, Unzucht. Also a really cool band, as far as I can tell. And also with his new band, his other new band, Oomph. And he seems to be a really likable dude. Yeah, I mean, really fitting. My impression is that, like, as a third person, as an outsider, I'm not part of the band, of course, don't know them, but from what I can tell, they seem to be on the same wavelength, which I really, really appreciate, and which I think is really important for being a successful band or group of musicians, artists, you know. And this song embodies everything that I like about Oomph: catchy melodies, cool grooves, you know, danceable even, with the offbeat hi-hat accents here and there. The dynamics shifts between the quiet verses and the loud chorus, you know, climactic progression. Awesome melodies, really catchy in the best sense of the word. And also thought-provoking lyrics, which I'm not going to be talking about too much here because I've already done that in another video. I translated the whole song to English, and I also explained a few interesting linguistic things for German language learners, for instance, about this song's lyrics. So if you want to check that out, I'm gonna be posting the link into the chat real quick. So this is the link to my explanation video, and this second link is to my first time reaction to the song, because I also made a video about that. There you go. Enjoy. By the way, once again, Oomph, hi, thanks for tuning in, and of course, Bariotic is around. He's not around anymore, but thanks for tuning in, and for saying hi. And yeah, I agree with what you said. Hello, nice beat. Yes, that is really, really cool, like a big strength of this song in particular. So, talking about the song's title for a moment, it is basically like somewhat of a German version, the German equivalent of For Whom the Bell Tolls. Not acoustically, of course, sonically, but in terms of what it means. Wem die Stunde schlägt. For die Stunde, singular. Die Stunden, plural, the hour. And yeah, it could be comprehended as somewhat fatalistic, maybe. Then again, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about it because I already did that in my lyric analysis video. First song on the album and awesome opener. You know, it leaves you with wanting more, I think. At least I feel that way. And the second song is the title track, Richter und Henker, which I've listened to once, I think. You know, I watched the music video and also enjoyed that one. So I'm not familiar with that in comparison, you know, not as much So let's check it out. This is Richter und Henker, song number 2 on the eponymous album by Oomph. And we're gonna listen to it in 3, 2, 1, play. Also like the production of the guitar sound and everything. Love the little details in the drumming. Very intricate. Huh. Also really enjoy that chorus. So damn catchy. Like this? Should be a bit louder now. I love this pre-chorus. Da, da, da. Like I said, it's catchy immediately. Thanks for telling me. Could be keyboards in the background. Or maybe strings. Hmm. Love that vibrato. An der Wand. Okay. Choral segment. It's a bit military-like, right? Which somewhat fits the theme of the song, which it could be about. You know, more about that in a second. Nice. Alright, that was song number 2, the title track, Richter und Henker. Interesting tune as well, also lyrically. you know, it's somewhat tough for me. I don't have the lyrics on screen. I could have them technically, but I don't want to distract myself from the music, because when I listen to a song for the first time, I don't want to be distracted too much. But from what I could gather, it could be about, it makes, or it references the Dichter und Denker, Germany as being a country of thinkers and poets. Das Land der Dichter und Denker, which is basically like a phrase in Germany, an expression referencing the glorious thinkers that we've had, and we also still have, I think, in various fields of study, but different times, different people, not the same, and don't want to get too political here, but Dichter und Denker, thinkers or the other way around, poets and thinkers, Dichter und Denker, and now it's Richter und Henker, which also sounds very similar, but completely different meaning, because it's der Richter, singular, die Richter, plural, the judge, and it's der Henker, singular, die Henker, plural, the executioner. And I guess it could also tackle that thing which I think exists in basically every country that has social media in it, which is that people blame each other all the time for various things. And the debating culture has changed in some way or another. Don't want to say it's good or bad, even though sometimes I think it's more bad than good. But anyway, I guess it could allude to that. I'm not sure, but that could be one possible interpretation, maybe. Definitely thought-provoking. And once again, musically, really catchy and awesome. So I'm just gonna type into the chat what I said before for the first song, because didn't do that then. Die Stunde and die Stunden. Wem die Stunde schlägt is the hour, and it's der Richter singular, die Richter plural, the judge, and der Henker singular, die Henker plural, the executioner. 10-finger writing for the win. Very strong beginning of the album, I think. Awesome. The third song is one that I don't know at all. Haven't listened to this yet. Was only released today, I think. Wasn't a single. So let's listen to Soll das Liebe sein. Sein, going up, indicates a question, and it is one. More about that maybe later. Let's listen to Soll das Liebe sein for the first time in 3, 2, 1, play. Maybe a ballad? You'd never know with Oomph. Because even though song titles may suggest being a ballad, they don't have to be. And I also wonder who the drummer is, because I think Dero also drummed on the previous albums. He played drums. Wow, this is giving me major Depeche Mode vibes. Awesome.
Es begann und war wie ein Traum. Sonnenhell erstrahlte der Raum.
Love the vocal effect.
Und schon war es passiert. In deinem Bann wie hypnotisiert. Du bist heiß und doch völlig kalt. Und dieser Traum, der wurde nicht alt. Hast mich verschluckt und lebendig verdaut. Vor Liebe blind hab ich dir vertraut.
Traut. Nice vocal lines. Also, damn catchy. In the most positive way. Could also be a single, you know, as far as I'm concerned. Also like the keyboards. Down, down, down.
Du bist hart wie schwarzer Basalt, hast mich erdrückt mit nackter Gewalt.
I love the vocal production as well.
Eins war auf Sand gebaut, doch jetzt seh ich klar. Du bist scharf, zerschneidest mein Herz. Ich seh Blut, doch wo bleibt der Schmerz? Alles ist hin und ist aus und vorbei. Sprich nur ein Wort, so geb ich dich frei.
Very interesting choice to have two vocals, basically, you know. The really low one and the normal one with effects. Awesome. This could also be a catchy tune for me personally. Yeah. It's a really awesome blend of electronica and metal, or rock, whatever you want to call it. Ooh! Nasty bass. All right, that was the third track. Soll das Liebe sein? Once again, you know, going up at the end indicates a question in German. Soll das Liebe sein? Is that supposed to be love? You know, which would be the English title if you translate it literally. My favorite song so far, Oomph says. And Liles, hi! Thanks for tuning in. Awesome. And they say Labyrinth bass line. Yeah, in a way, yeah. I think so, yeah, good. Now that you mention it, definitely bears a resemblance to that. But, you know, Labyrinth, also another cool song by Oomph, of course. So, yeah, different, slightly different, of course, but same-ish vibe, I'd say. Also, a third awesome track on the album, if you ask me. And I know you do. I don't know. But cool song from front to back. Really enjoy the intricate and well thought out vocal production, especially in this one. You know, the vocal lines itself, the melodies, but also the production choices. For instance, in the verses, you may have heard that it's at least two vocal layers on top of each other. The normal sounding one with the effects on it, of course, but and then a really, really low one. Slightly lower in the mix as well, which still gives it an extra bit of, dare I say, oomph? I don't know. But I really enjoy those choices, you know, because they, even though they may be subtle, they make a difference. Excuse me. So, once again, it seems to be a song about, well, love in a way, but unrequired love, I guess you could say. People that seem to be in a love relationship, like a couple basically, still, even though not really anymore. And especially one person, the lyrical I in this case, is asking, Soll das Liebe sein? Is this supposed to be love? You know, you're dreaming, but you don't dream of me anymore. And you want to do things, but not with me anymore. You know, everything you're thinking of doesn't include me anymore. So a love that once was a bright fire has now turned into a little spark. if you can say that, if you know what I mean. I think this could be what the song may be about. But, maybe it's about something completely different, and that is also cool about music and lyrics, I think, is that you can interpret them in many different ways most of the time. So, awesome. Really, really cool. It is die Liebe, Singular, die Lieben, Plural, Love, and it's die Frage, Singular, die Fragen, Plural, the question. So, soll das Liebe sein? Is this supposed to be love? I don't know. But what I do know is that we're going to proceed with the third single, which I have not listened to. So this is going to be a first listen from me once again. It's called Nur ein Mensch. Also an interesting title. More about that after the song. And with that being said, I hope still the music isn't too loud. If so, feel free to tell me. Or too quiet or whatever. But it shouldn't be too quiet though. Let's continue listening to the album, to track number 4, Nur ein Mensch, in 3, 2, 1, play. This reminds me of Carpenter Brute, I think it's pronounced, if you know that band. The beginning, for some reason. Nasty riff. Some muting, I think, going on. Okay, very direct lyrics, I think. That is a cool riff. Is it a little bit of, chunkness to it, chunky. Second run, okay. Didn't expect that. Was expecting the second verse. Like this little climax in there. Once again, the offbeat accent. And building. And that was song number 4. Nur ein Mensch. Only or just a human being. And even though that may sound belittling in a way, or minimizing, I don't think it is. And it's an interesting mixture of, well, I guess you could say realistic, maybe a little bit like pejorative, negative statements about the state of humankind in the sense of waging war against each other. In that sense, once again, a dualism in this song. It's sad in a way, but it's also, especially in the chorus, it's positive, I think, because it also highlights that we're in the same boat. We all feel a little bit, how should I put it? Helpless, maybe, at times with the current state of the world and everything. I think in that sense, once again, the dualism that I want to talk about here is that it seems to be about like timeless topics, sadly, waging war, timeless topic in a way. But it could also be applied to the current situation with the war against Ukraine. I mean, it's you could also say, fairly enough, it's a quite political song. And it's a very direct song in that sense. It doesn't really, it doesn't seem to be overly abstract in that sense, which I also like. Because sometimes songs can be abstract for the sake of being abstract and artsy, which is also cool, can be cool, but sometimes I guess lyrics just want to hit you right in the face and be direct, however you want to say it. And I do enjoy that. There are 2 lines that really stood out to me. The first song is Blut folgt keiner Fahne. Blood doesn't follow any flag. And the second one is Blut kennt keine Rassen. Blood doesn't know any race. Which in itself should be a clear statement. And like it or not, I agree with that. Definitely, personally speaking. And that is what I mean by, it could also be interpreted as somewhat of an hopeful song. It's hopeless and hopeful at the same time. It's an interesting mixture. And what's also interesting is that the nur in the title, the first word, nur ein Mensch, nur, means only or just. You could translate in both ways. And it's der Mensch, singular, die Menschen, plural. The human being. Nur ein Mensch. Only or just a human being. Excuse me. My nose. Itchy. Alright. A little bit less of an catchy song, but I don't think it wants to be overly catchy because of the lyrical topic, maybe. But I don't know. Also enjoyed this one. So let's continue with song number 5, Schrei, nur Schrei. Once again, the nur in it, but more about that in this context after we've listened to the song. So this is this is Schrei, nur Schrei. Song number 5 by Oomph in 3, 2, 1, play. Once again, an electronic start. Quite electronic driven, this album, so far. In comparison. More of like the old school Oomph style, maybe. This sound reminds me of Rammstein. This distorted, low in the mix. Love the bass pattern. This reminded me of Dero a little bit. The timbre. A piano? Maybe. They have a great sense for catchy choruses, let me tell ya. Man. And, you know, it sounds fresh and still old school oomph at the same time. Just the right mixture and balance. Ooh. Nice little keyboard accent there. Or string accent, maybe. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Also very, once again, very catchy, you know, could easily become another catchy tune. La, da, 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 da. Also a testament to, you don't need to have overly complex vocal lines to have a cool song. Nice. And this is, it has a pop sensibility to it, which I also dig. It's pop-ish, poppy, in the context of Oomph though. That is cool. Oh. Interesting outro. Ooh. Cool. All right, that was Schrei nur Schrei. Da 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 da, and so on. Really, really cool. Also, damn catchy tune. Once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but that is only a positive sign in this case because it's positive things that I have to say. If I didn't like something, I would say it, but I once again, this song also embodies the vocal versatility of der Schulz. He can sing in so many different ways, and also within the same song, quiet, loud, and raspy, and not raspy, with or without vibrato. Very, 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 once again, also dynamic, in a way. And yeah, really, really cool. The song could be about someone who is quite dominant and suppressive to their significant other in a relationship. I think it could also be, once again, about a romantic relationship. And the lyrical I says, only I can free you, in a way. Only I know how to do that. So give in to me, in that sense, I guess, is the gist of this song, partially. So in a way, I guess you could argue that it's somewhat describing a toxic relationship, in a way, to some degree or another. Interesting, definitely also really, really cool, and I guess relatable for many people, So the song's title means just scream or just shout, or literally speaking, scream, just scream, just scream, scream, just scream, I dare you to scream, in that sense. Because nur, in this case, even though, it's been used the second time, it's slightly different in this context, I think. Because here, it has a slightly different connotation. It means something like, I dare you to scream, Scream, just scream, won't help you anyway. But if you want to scream, scream, like that, It's basically teasing the victim to, scream. The lyrical is teasing the victim in a way. So you could see it as a form of die Aufforderung, singular. Die Aufforderungen, plural, the request or prompt. I dare you to, And it's der Schrei, singular. Die Schreie, plural, the scream or shout. And as a verb, it's schreien, to scream or to shout. Once again, yeah, production, everything, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Really strong beginning of the album so far. And with the next song, Nichts, mehr, jetzt, gut, song number 6, it's halftime. We're halfway through the album already. Crazy. Has flown by like nothing, but in a just positive way. There's nothing, I mean, I guess people could argue that the basic song structures are pretty much similar most of the time with Oomph, which arguably they are, yes, but they don't want to be like a progressive metal band, for instance. They aren't that type of band. And it doesn't have to be complex for the sake of being complex. If you can achieve something, at least that's my opinion about that, if you can achieve something with a basic song structure, a basic arrangement, more power to you, Why not? That's my take on that. But I can also see when people are criticizing artists for being a bit repetitive in terms of their arrangements, for instance, or arrangement choices. But production-wise, the sound mix, instruments, clarity and everything, well balanced. from what I can tell. And awesome, yeah. So, song number 6, Nichts, wird mehr gut. What could this one be about? Let's check it out. In 3, 2, 1, play. Interesting electronic production gimmicky thingy. Interesting rhythm. Quite unusual for Oomph, I'd say. Rhythm like that. Mhm. Similar topic, but maybe from the other perspective. You know, the lyrical I saying nothing will be good again. There's no hope in this relationship. Not as catchy. Quite a depressive song in a way, you know, lyrically speaking also. I'm not sure if the drums were played live or if they are programmed. But I like how playful they are. Especially in comparison to previous Oomph albums, where they always seem to be a bit static. Cool though, but static. And this time around, more playful. Which I do appreciate a lot. Okay. Alright. Stop. Okay, that was Nichts, mehr, gut. Song number 6. And like I said, gotta be honest with you, not my favorite song on the album so far. It's good, and I think it's a grower. Like, it's a song that the more you listen to it, sometimes songs are like that, I think. The more you listen to them, the better they become. Sometimes not. But with this one, I think it could be a grower. I do like it, but it's not as catchy immediately. What is interesting about it, though, which I also try to address during the song a little bit, is that it seems to be... It is about a similar topic, one perspective in a romantic relationship, which is broken in a way. But even though previously there was a bit of, like, uplifting, hopeful, like an element of that in there, I guess you could say, this time around, it's also, switched perspectives. The lyrical I is the suppressed one, seems to be the suppressed one, the weaker one. And they don't seem hopeless at all. Nichts wird mehr gut. The title itself says it all. Nothing will become good again, or will be good again. Nichts wird mehr gut. All hope is lost. Yeah. That is why I said it's quite a depressive song. Depressing in a way. It's not a happy song. Definitely not. Well, at least it isn't for the lyrical eye. Lyrically speaking, or linguistically speaking, it's nichts, nothing, werden, to become, and gut, good. Bit similar to the German term, but still different enough. Nichts wird mehr gut. Yeah, it could be a grower. So far from the 6 songs that we've listened to, my least favorite one in comparison, but that doesn't mean it's a bad song, because I do enjoy it. But it's not a song that I would go like, listen, yeah, okay, I have to pick like 3-4 songs from the album that I can listen to time-wise, for instance. This wouldn't be one that I would pick right now. But, that is okay. Still a very strong first half of the album as a whole. Like, especially the first 4 or 5 songs. Really impressive run of awesome, cool songs. Let's continue with song number 7. Sag jetzt einfach nichts. And we're gonna follow that. And still, we're gonna listen to the song, though. In 3, 2, 1, play. They have a thing with electronic beginnings on this album. I really enjoy the mix of the guitars and the amount of gain and everything, distortion. Choir in the background. Awesome. Once again, nice rhythm in the guitar work.
Sie brennt wie Feuer. Ich habe Angst und zwar vor mir. Die Angst vor mir.
Ich habe Angst und zwar vor mir. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid of myself. Interesting. Whoop, whoop. No, I haven't. And thanks for tuning in, of course. Ooh, nice. Nichts. That was cool. Okay. Okay, that was probably one of my most favorite endings of these songs so far. Really, really cool climax toward the end. Sag jetzt einfach nichts. Just don't say anything now. Awesome. Definitely enjoyed that more than, compared to the previous song. So, yeah. It seems to be about a very insecure lyrical I guess. Once again, in a dependency with another person to some degree. And even though they are aware, like the lyrical I seems to be aware of the other person, gaslighting them maybe, or playing with their emotions, they don't want to know anymore. They say, say what you want to say, or don't say anything in this case. Just leave me alone. But how much of my soul do I have to sacrifice in order to have peace? I think is the line. Wie viel Seele ist mir Frieden wert? Which is an awesome lyric, awesome line. How much soul is freedom worth investing? How to put it in different words? How much of my soul do I have to sacrifice in order to have peace? Because freedom, Freiheit, peace would be Frieden. Interesting. Also, once again, very interesting. And similar to the previous songs with nur, for instance, this one also includes a modal particle in a way, I guess you could say. Or, mehr in the previous song title. Nichts wird mehr gut could also be interpreted as a sort of like a modal particle. In this case, sag jetzt einfach nichts. The einfach is the modal term. In the sense of being, just don't say anything. Sag jetzt einfach nichts. But in other contexts, of course, einfach means simple or easy. So, sometimes it's dependent on the context. linguistically, which also is an interesting aspect, I think. Cool song. Let's find out what the next song is all about. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Song number 8 in 3, 2, 1, play. Very quiet and slow beginning.
Ich such die Liebe, doch ich finde nur den Hass. Ich such die Frage, doch die Antwort nicht. Ich such die Wahrheit, doch die Lüge findet mich. Ich will vertrauen, doch das kann ich nicht. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Es ist nichts, wie du meinst. Denn ich lieb nur mich und du siehst das nicht. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Ich will nicht mehr, dass du mich machst. Ich will nicht mehr, dass du mich willst.
Ich will nicht mehr, dass du mich willst. I don't want that you want me anymore. Ah.
Dem Stolz ergeben, doch der Liebe nicht. Ich such die Freiheit, doch mein Kopf nimmt mich in Haft. Ich will die Treue, doch ich geb sie nicht.
Like the well, it's not polyrhythmic, but polyphone vocal melodies in the verses. And the chorus. It reminds me a little bit of Marilyn Manson, this part. Like beautiful people, marching rhythm. Also quite depressing lyrics. They want to burn, but they can't endure the warmth, they basically said. Like the galloping rhythm in this one. Alright. That was song number 8. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Nothing is the way it seems, or seems to be, you know, because I guess it's about like a person with a facade in front of them, like a mask they wear, an invisible mask, because at the end of the day, and the lyrical eye also said that, they just love themselves, you know, and now no one else. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint, you know, even though I may play the good person, you know, in everyday life and appear to love other people, not the case. You know, I love myself and that's it. At the end of the day, es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Nothing is the way it seems, you know, even though you may see me as someone who is lovable, you know, a very loving person, I'm not. In that sense, I guess you could say. And it is the third song in a row with Nichts in the title, with the same term. Nichts, once again, means nothing. Es ist nichts, wie es scheint. Nothing is the way it seems. And scheinen, also another interesting term, because it can mean two different things, basically. In this context, it means to seem like, scheinen. But scheinen can also mean to shine. In that sense, it's quite similar, linguistically speaking, to the English term to shine. Scheinen, light shines, for instance. Yeah. Da-da-da. I really enjoyed the rhythm in this one, like the galloping rhythm. And it, especially in the bridge part, I think, it reminded me a little bit of Marilyn Manson, like the Beautiful People. Similar vibe, I think. Maybe similar pace even. Beats per minute. I'm not sure. But yeah, not too far off, I don't think. So, interesting. Let's find out what song number 9 is all about. Wo die Angst gewinnt. Hopefully nowhere. What that means, well, we'll find out in the song, I guess. This is song number 9, Wo die Angst gewinnt, by Oomph, in 3, 2, 1, go. Electronic beginning. But more, overall, I think more electronic than previous Oomph albums, for the most part. Okay, I really like this pre-chorus. Da 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 da. Reminds me of another song though. Very strong chorus. Very epic in the best sense of the word. Not sure what this is about. I have an idea, but more about that in a minute. Nice. Nice little rhythmic pattern. Also a good contrast to the, the long chords in the chorus. And how elegic it sounds. Is it elegic? Elegisch. Ich seh dich weinen, doch fühl dich nicht. I see you crying, but I don't feel you. Nice. Okay, song number 9, Wo die Angst gewinnt. Also, like, one of the strongest choruses on the album, maybe? Definitely very touching. So far, we didn't have a ballad, which is really remarkable. Maybe at least one coming up. I don't know. It's fine, though. I don't mind that. Just noticing that now. So the chorus is interesting, especially the chorus, I think, for me personally, from the first listen. Sehe dich schreien, doch hör dich nicht. I see you scream, but I can't hear you. I don't hear you. So, maybe could be about someone, maybe again, like, could also be a friendship. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship necessarily, but two people that had a great time together in a way or another, but now that's not the case anymore, and the lyrical eye has lost empathy for the other person for some reason, and they see them, they see their emotions, but they can't resonate with them anymore. Sehe dich schreien, doch hör dich nicht. I hear you scream, but I see you scream, but I can't hear you, or I don't hear you scream. It doesn't get through to me anymore. I don't care about that. Maybe in that sense as well. I don't, I see that and I notice everything, but I can't, I don't care about it anymore. What's gone is gone. And maybe also a bit of like a difficult situation in the sense of I do acknowledge that you're still here, and in some way I do also care about you because of our good past, the past times we've had, but at the same time the feelings are gone. Maybe something like that. Interesting, definitely also thought-provoking. It's once again, I guess, this is something that Oomph really do great, I think, in general. Not just on this album, but in general. They have, and also der Schulz as the new, lyricist in the band, they have a really cool feel, or like a feeling for topics that people can relate to here and there, It's not too abstract. It's never too abstract, I don't think, and that is cool. Still, songs usually give or leave room for interpretation, Eric, hi, thanks for tuning in. And wow, okay, thank you very much for that kind tip, sir. Good vibes, yeah. Same to you, of course. Wow, thank you. Gonna post a few emojis here. Thank you very, very much. That is much appreciated. Eric is one of my channel supporters. There it is. There. Thank you very, very much. We're listening to the new Oomph album today, and we're like 3/4 through. We're gonna continue with the 10th song, but before we're gonna do that, Wo die Angst gewinnt translates to where the fear wins or prevails, I guess you could say. So Thank you once again, Eric. So it's die Angst, singular, die Ängste, plural, the fear. And it's gewinnen, to win or to prevail, I guess, depending on the context. But interesting song, once again. I hope you enjoyed that one as well. And yeah, let's continue with song number 10. All die Jahre. All these years. In 3, 2, 1, play. Percussive beginning this time? Okay. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. Hey!
Halb erwacht aus Morpheus Armen, kalter Wind, der mich umgibt, antriebslos durch Leere taumelnd, hoffnungslos die Schwerkraft zieht. All die Jahre, unendlich weit, 1000 Tage, voll Dunkelheit und ich fahre durch die Zeit.
Another awesome chorus. Nada. Love that. Da, da. Also, I don't know if it's like a xylophone or keyboard. A left ear. Ding, ding, ding. Very bright.
Freier Fall aus allen Wolken, weil der Halt mich jäh verließ. Gnadenlos, verloren im Fallwind, aussichtslos und endlos tief. All die Jahre, unendlich weit, 1000 Tage, voll Dunkelheit und ich fahre durch die Zeit, bis in Ewigkeit.
Da, 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 da. Could also become a catchy tune for me. Thinking of what the song could be about. Because I guess you could also interpret it in many different ways. Da, 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 da. May not be synchronized because of a little delay, but you know what I mean. You know, it's a good sign for me when I can sing along to something like that. Da, da. Because that means it sticks in my head, in my ears. Da, da, da. Alright. Song number 10. All die Jahre. Da 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 da. Da da da. Und so weiter. You know, and so forth. I guess it has already become a catchy tune for me. Which is a good sign. Strong song. Very, very solid, strong song. I also like the simplicity of it. It has a simple beat, arguably, and once again, another great example for me personally that I like progressive music. I like progressive rock, progressive metal, Porcupine Tree, Opeth, and you name them. Tool. But I also like music like this, where it's simple, but it's not too simple, and it still achieves an effect, at least for me personally as a listener. And also on the first listen, because once again, this is my first listen for the album, of the album. And it could also be comprehended as a quite sad song, I guess, because it is sort of reflecting, the lyrical eye seems to be reflecting on the past and past experiences, and not everything was positive, I don't think, were good situations for them in the past, and they want to be free. They aren't interested in going forward necessarily anymore, which finds a climax in the last line of the chorus, which talks about an Aufprall, der Aufprall, the impact, I think. So maybe someone who wants, disclaimer, suicide, wants to kill themselves. Hopefully not, but I don't know. Could be comprehended as a quite sad song, again, quite depressing. A call for help, maybe? But musically, fitting in that sense that it's a slower song, but still steady, it keeps going. All die Jahre, anyway, means all of the years, or all these years, in the literal sense of the word. All die Jahre, all these years. For das Jahr, Singular, die Jahre, Plural, the year. Looking back, basically, on all those years. Not in a positive light, rather negatively, I think. But maybe this will lead to Wut, rage, or anger. And it may also lead to Song 11, the penultimate, the second to last song, featuring Joachim Witt. And I guess most of you, in case you're not German, you may not be familiar with Joachim Witt. Joachim Witt was very successful during the 1980s with pop rock songs, especially Der Goldene Reiter. The Golden Rider is a very popular song that basically every older German knows, who was around during the 80s. He was a big part of the Neue Deutsche Welle, the new German wave in the 80s, like synth pop bands in the 80s from Germany. And that is when Joachim Witt became popular and famous. And then he gradually moved away from that style and became more of a like a rock singer, I guess, a rock musician, rock or even metal, NDH, Neue Deutsche Härte musician, and to some degree at least. And that is why I'm not surprised by this collaboration necessarily, because he's open for that style, and I wonder how he will fit in with this song and with Oomph, of course. I think they have never collaborated before. I could be wrong, but I don't think they have. So I'm really curious about this one as well. This is Wut featuring Joachim Witt by Oomph, second to last song in 3, 2, 1, play. Let's see. Very shrieky. Freaky sounds.
Die glühende Kohle noch in meiner Hand. Wollte sie auf ihn werfen, doch hab mich selber verbrannt. Ich halte das Messer, jedoch an der Klinge. Und bis
That's Joachim Witt.
zerschneidet es mich. Ich hab diese Waffe gespannt und geladen, doch schieß ich mir selbst mitten in mein Gesicht.
Very, like, kind of abstract, yet still direct sounding, but rhythmically speaking, you know, arrangement-wise, interesting. And for Oomph standards, quite abstract maybe. A little bit atonal, dissonant maybe, here and there.
Geboren aus Angst, schlägt der Hass eine Wurzel, zerstört er meinen Verstand, den Zorn zu bewahren und so zu verfahren. Ja, das ist der Grund, der mein Leben verdirbt.
And once again, offbeat hi-hat pattern.
Mein Gift auf der andere stirbt.
It's another well-fitting and thought-provoking song lyrically speaking, but more about that in a few seconds.
Es kocht mein Blut. Schrei und Schrei, Schlag und Schlag, Psalm und Psalm.
Interesting beginning of the chorus. Boom. And then it comes. Alright. That was song number 11, Elf, by Oomph, featuring Joachim Witt this time around. Wut. And it's die Wut. Only singular, doesn't exist in plural. Die Wut. The rage or anger. And it's, I think, you know, from the gist of it, from what I can get from the first listen, lyrically speaking, I can totally agree with everything that's been said here. First thing is, like, the idea of karma. You know, if you wanna rage, you know, if you rage against someone, you are angry with someone, you have anger, and you address that, you know, you point that anger towards someone, it comes back to you, you know. And I think at the beginning of the song it says something like, I use a knife, but I cut myself. Or I have a coal, like hot burning coal in my hand, but it burns me. It burns, you know, I get burned. So it comes back to you. It leads back to you. It's a negative thing to be, you know, to spread rage or anger, which of course can be applied to like one-on-one situations, but also in a society, I guess. And especially in the chorus, it also said that, in dieser Zeit, in these times, in these days. So I think, once again, it could be interpreted as a song that is both timeless, because there's always rage, and there was, and there will always be rage in societies for different reasons. But you can also interpret it in the wake of, or in these current times, what the world is like right now, I guess. So, also another thought-provoking topic. And I don't think, personally, that rage or anger is any helpful emotion. It doesn't lead to anything positive. How could it? Because it's rooted in something negative, right? And I think the song also mentioned that at some point. So, interesting. Definitely very, very fitting in a way, I guess, and interesting. Which also leads us to the last song on the album. And once again, I don't know if this will be the first and only ballad on the album, because this album doesn't have a ballad. Really. No, not really. I mean, interesting choice. I didn't see that coming, to be honest. Let's listen to Ein kleines bisschen Glück, the last song on the album, Richter und Henker by Oomph. This is track number 12. 12. In 3, 2, 1, play. Let's see. It's a longer song, so maybe somewhat of a half ballad, maybe. We'll see. I think this song is one of the band members' most favorite ones, as far as I can tell, or from what I remember from an interview I watched with them, like a live stream packing event they had a few days ago. Love that. Sound design.
Wir Menschen hier draußen, wer wollten wir sein? Was waren unsere Träume? Was hält uns am Sein? Nachts in den Hallen, Meer und Getränk, die uns von den Herren der Arbeit geschenkt. Verschluckt von den Toren in einem Stück, kehren doch jeden Morgen, wir leben zurück. Der Lohn unserer Beute, doch wir wissen schon, diese Beute frisst uns, unsere Träume den Lohn. Man sucht ein kleines bisschen Glück, doch das verzehrt uns Stück für Stück. Denn was man gibt, kommt nie zurück. Und das saugt uns langsam aus. Unsere Kraft, sie wird verdaut. Vom Streben, das auf Sand gebaut.
Well, I guess you could call it a ballad-ish? Really like the sound design of this one.
Wir Menschen hier draußen, wie wollten wir sein? Wer macht unsere Träume? Wer pflanzt sie uns ein? Wer lebt unser Leben, während wir es nur führen? Verstrickt in den Pflichten, die uns fest einschnüren.
Heidi, hi. Thank you very much for telling me, for saying that. Much appreciated. Guest singer? Beautiful.
Verschluckt von den Toren in einem Stück, kehren doch jeden Morgen, wir leben zurück. Der Lohn unserer Beute, doch wir wissen schon, diese Beute frisst uns, unsere Träume den Lohn. In den Tiefen der Schulden muss man funktionieren, denn was hart erkämpft ist, will man nicht mehr verlieren. Denn Schweiß, Blut und Tränen, die waren sonst umsonst, doch was wir besitzen, besetzt somit auf uns. Man sucht ein kleines bisschen Glück, doch das verzerrt uns Stück für Stück. Denn was man gibt, kommt nie zurück. Und das saugt uns langsam aus. Unsere Kraft, sie wird verdaut. Vom Streben das Haus angebaut. Man sucht ein kleines bisschen Glück, doch das verzerrt uns Stück für Stück. Denn was man gibt, kommt nie zurück. Und das saugt uns langsam aus. Unsere Kraft, sie
Very epic ending. Puh. Alright, that was Ein kleines bisschen Glück, the last song on the album, and that was the whole entire album, Richter und Henker by Oomph. Before I'm going to talk about the album as a whole and what I think about it, of course, let's first talk about this song. It was the ballad that I thought it could be. I guess you could argue it's maybe the slowest song, which also fits in a way with the theme. You know, it ties in with the theme of the song from what I could get. Jay Cree, hi. And of course, once again, Heidi, thanks for your kind words. That is much, much appreciated. I really enjoy that kind of feedback, of course, you know, because it's motivating, you know. It's awesome. So that is also why I like doing live streams with you guys. Jay Cree, hi Dave, missed the first two songs, will re-listen to the album, great album, nice to see you live, have a great weekend, same to you, and have a great weekend to you everyone. And yeah, so about the song, Ein kleines bisschen Glück, it is, I guess you could also say it's kind of like a negative outlook on the way life seems to be for many people these days, that they feel they, of course, have that intrinsic motivation, that inner motivation that means to seek happiness, to seek luck in life, to be lucky, to be happy. But at the same time, at least the song portrays that perspective, it is gone once you have it already, because it's not enough and you are greedy, or maybe because the circumstances make it so that you can't enjoy luck or happiness for a longer amount of time because life has become so complicated and complex. In that sense, you could argue that it's also a very recent song, in terms of what the world is like at the moment, because arguably for many people in the Western world, and especially also in Germany, USA, many different parts of the world, Ukraine, of course, as well, life hasn't become easier in the past few months, days, weeks, years. So, it's interesting because, in a way, it's a sad and somewhat negative song, in the sense of, because it basically promotes the thought of, there is no need in trying to achieve something and trying to pursue happiness, because it won't last. Which, yeah, that's true. You can't always be happy, but then again, even having a little bit of luck seems to be too much for the lyrical eye, at least. So maybe this is one of those songs where you may say, well, yes, I guess for many people it is like that, but even, I personally don't agree with that necessarily, but maybe that is why it works so well. Just because I can't agree or I don't agree with that statement doesn't mean that it's not thought-provoking, right? If you know what I mean. I don't have to agree with something, but it can still be thought-provoking. I don't dislike the new singer, but I found the old singer attractive. I like both, Heidi. They are different, but they have a similar vocal range, I guess. Maybe like the new singer, der Schulz, Daniel is his name, is slightly higher in tone, I think, compared to Dero. I like both. Of course, you have to get used to the new singer. It's something new, and we all are animals of habit, or creatures of habit. I think it's just a question of getting used to something new. And I personally am someone who can accept change quite well most of the time. But I do get, and I know that many people may struggle with that a little more. But I like both, and this album, especially like the first 5 songs, extremely strong beginning. I think, and now coming to my full album review, so to speak, the album review itself, the new singer sounds so natural to the style of Oomph, Eric says. I do agree. They do fit. And I'm not as familiar with the other band that he's in, Unzucht. But from what I've read and heard, is that he sounds somewhat different in Unzucht even. Of course similar because it's the same singer. But in Oomph, he still sounds a bit different. Well, I can't say anything about that really at the moment, but I like the way he sounds in Oomph. Definitely. Different, but not too different, if that makes sense. In a good way. So, about the album as a whole, I think it's a really strong album overall, with a few songs that didn't grab me as much directly. Like, I think from the first listen, the 6th song, Nichts, wird mehr gut, was okay, it was solid, but it wasn't one of my favorite songs. The rest of the songs, though, and Wut, the second to last song featuring Joachim Witt, is also interesting, I don't think it will become one of my favorites necessarily, but it's a good song. And like I said, especially the first 5 songs, but also the other ones, Sag jetzt einfach nichts, es ist nichts, wie es scheint. All die Jahre, maybe one of my other highlights, because the chorus melody, awesome. Also, this last song, musically speaking, especially, is awesome. So yeah, production awesome, not as brick walled, I don't think, compared to previous albums. Sometimes they like cool production for that style of music, don't get me wrong, like a really loud brick walled compressed production, but this time it sounded like as if the guitars are not that much, like that extremely compressed. What I also really enjoyed in comparison to older albums, even though I also like the more simplistic, in your face style, this time around, especially in the drum department, but also the riffs and the riffage, with palm muting here and there, dun 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 dun. I do enjoy that it's a little bit more, like in the context of Oomph, a little bit more versatile here and there. Also, the something very common on this album is the offbeat hi-hat. Like this dancey, especially in the first song, Wem die Stunde schlägt, which was a great comeback single. And strong song, probably the best opening track compared to the other songs as well. Fitting, very fitting, upbeat, up-tempo. Yes, the vocal range is good. They sound different, Heidi says. Yes, I do agree. So overall, great album. Congrats to Oomph, to the band, to der Schulz for, having become a strong part of the group already. And they are still going strong. They are a strong unit, even though, changing a singer is not easy, I don't think, for a band. Because usually the singer, of course, is also the front man. And changing that's tough. But I think, from what I read also, like in the comments section of Wem die Stunde schlägt, for instance, the first single, like 9 out of 10 comments were really positive. And they really welcomed Daniel, der Schulz, into the band, from what I can tell. And that's at least my impression. And I, immediately, I wasn't aware of him before he joined Oomph, so I didn't know about him at all. And I just became, I just liked him instantly, When I listened to Wem die Stunde schlägt for the first time, which once again you can find on my channel, my first listen reaction to that song, and also my lyric analysis video for Wem die Stunde schlägt. Gonna post the links once again. This one, the first one that I just posted, is the one for my reaction. And the second one is, where is it? Is for my, this one is for my lyric analysis video and linguistic explanation. So, yeah. With that being said, I think that should be it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. Was a long time ago that I did the previous album listening party, so it's good to be back with this. And also, thanks for tuning in, guys. Also, thanks, of course, to everyone watching this afterwards as a recording. I don't know if this can stay online, the stream recording, because of the music, because this time around, I actually played the music in the stream, like basically as an experiment. If it doesn't work, I may have to re-upload this, because I also recorded the stream. If everything works, I may have to re-upload this as a proper video without the music. Can't do anything about it then, but yeah, at least I'm trying. So, keep your fingers crossed for that it can stay online. Thanks for watching once again. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and everything. And also, once again, Eric, thanks for your super chat tip, which was really, really generous. Much, much appreciated. And it really helps a lot. As well, and that's the last thing that I want to point out, is my Patreon page. Patreon.com/Definitely. If you want to support me and what I'm doing on YouTube, talking about the German language and culture and everything. Teresa, or Teresa, more German way of pronouncing your name. Thanks for doing this. I missed most of it. Work. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to try and rewatch it later today. Thank you very much, Teresa. Like I said, you're welcome, first of all. And thanks for tuning in still. Much appreciated. And I may have to re-upload this because YouTube may not allow the stream to remain online because of the video, the music in it that I just played. But I don't know yet. So I may have to re-upload this without the music. But even then, I counted you in so you can synchronize yourself and hit play at the same time that I hit play. So that should work as well. And now I'm sweating like, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for your support, for being here. It's much appreciated from the bottom of my German heart. And with that being said, see you next time. Definitely. Thanks for watching. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye.